Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy Patton.
And I'm Kathy Ryan.
And this is Women 2018. Yes, the adventure continues. It just keeps on going. We're traveling across the country to all the states, or as many states as we can, to interview women running for political office.
And the majority of the women who are running for the first time. This is an unprecedented time in U.S. history.
And we are here in California, in District 25, which is just north of Los Angeles, where Katie Hill is running for Congress. Katie, come on down, join us. Come in the middle.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here.
Hi,
So, tell us, you are from here.
I am.
You've spent your life here.
Yes.
What do you love about this district?
So this is a unique district because it's one of the last places in LA County where you can actually have property. I live on a 2.5 acre little farm with horses, a horse, 2 goats, chickens, that kind of thing. It's also, we're in Santa Clarita right now, which is it's the third largest
And
city.
let me show you as she's talking. Keep talking just to show you the back here. We're in the Santa Clarita area, and you'll see the trains. Okay, sorry. Keep going. Keep going.
So Santa Clarita is the third largest city in LA County, but it's also our biggest small town. I mean, you can't go to a grocery store without running into somebody you know if you've spent a lot of time here. It is so critical that people take care of each other here. That's just part of the culture. And I think what's really unique about this district is that we truly are a purple district. We're one of the most evenly split between Democrats, Republicans, and independents.
Yeah.
Let's walk a little bit and talk. We're gonna multitask here. So, Katie, I really want to ask you. Speaking of your farm, what is it like to have a farm? And we'll just keep walking.
Sure.
here.
Yeah. It can be a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. My husband, fortunately, is able to take care of it while I'm doing this. Running
Oh,
for
that's
office.
good. Okay.
And you have 2 kids, right?
And you have
No,
two
I
kids.
don't have kids. No.
Well, kids,
Oh,
goats.
goats. Yes.
You're trying to go ha ha
Okay.
ha ha ha.
Yeah.
No.
No. I'm like, I consider my animals my kids, but
Yeah, right.
So it's very. You drive out of the city, right? And I was working in LA for a long time, and it's just so different. So you literally cross kind of a threshold, and it's like you're not even in the same kind of region, and so it's so peaceful. Like this morning, I was hanging out with my goats and my horse, and it's very therapeutic. So
I love it.
That's so
with your kids, right?
yes, exactly.
Well, let's talk about your career and how you got started working with the homeless and the PATH program.
Yeah. So I was planning on becoming a nurse, like my mom and both of my grandmothers, but I worked in the emergency room for about 1.5 to 2 years, and I quickly realized that it was the social issues that landed people in the emergency room, not necessarily their physical health problems.
Yeah, that's one would not think about.
Yeah, and it was mental health, substance abuse, foster care, poverty, and all of these things that ultimately made it so that you just can't fix those problems from the ER. So I decided I wanted to work on the nonprofit side and really on before people end up in somewhere like the emergency room. That's started because I ended up as a 17-year-old myself. I ended up holding the hand of a 17-year-old gang member who was shot multiple times.
Oh my God.
As he died.
I can't imagine it.
And it was an experience that really impacted me. And I ended up at PATH, People Assisting the Homeless, which is now the largest homeless services provider in California. I was there for almost 8 years, the last several of which I was the executive director. And we literally helped thousands of people move off the streets into permanent homes every year.
And it's such a monumental program
really
in
is.
Los Angeles. Really
It's such a
major
problem, big
major
problem.
Yeah.
So, and now you are running for Congress.
Yes.
Describe. You're going to hear a little noise in the background. We like that though. We're in the field. Describe the moment you decided to run. What was that like?
Well, we had just passed major legislation in the city of Los Angeles to put $1.2 billion into permanent supportive housing to address homelessness on a scale we've never seen before. So we had this huge victory in November of 2016. We got over 80% of the vote, and it was something to be celebrating. But instead of being able to celebrate, it was the next day everyone was in my office crying, saying, what does this mean for us that Donald Trump is president? We've got a Republican House and Senate. And one of the first issues that they always go after is getting social programs, and knowing that we're not going to be able to address the issues that matter most to us if we don't have the right federal partners in place. Then I found out that this district that I've spent my whole life in, that I love, is key in us being able to take back the House. Steve Knight, the Republican incumbent right now, is actually the only person with all 7 of the Cook Political Report's vulnerability factors. So he's pretty much the most vulnerable Republican in the country. And I had several different people suggest that I consider running, and I remember the moment when at first I blew it off, and then I started thinking about it, and it was in the shower because
Oh, I love that.
Yes,
That's a first.
And I thought
And
about
let's
it.
keep walking.
Yeah.
Keep going. Yeah.
And I said, well, my family is all about service to our community, and if this is where I can have the biggest impact, then this is something I should do. So,
And here you are.
Here we are. And now we're the front runners. We've got polling showing that I'm the only Democrat in the race that can defeat the Republican incumbent, and we're currently in a head-to-head, beating him by 13 points.
Wow.
That's wonderful. And you're the youngest
I am.
youngest woman, right? Or
I
the
am,
youngest
yeah.
candidate,
Are you the
right.
youngest woman in the congressional race across the country, or
Not
California?
across the country,
but
but
you're
yes,
one of the youngest.
One of the youngest, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Wow,
So
that's
good for you.
fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
And a couple of other quick questions. Do you see any? I mean, obviously there are challenges in being a woman running for the first time. Just a couple of quick.
Yeah, I mean, a few things. One is it's much harder for women to fundraise off the bat, and I think a fair amount of it is socialization, that we don't want to ask people for things. We're usually the ones that are helping people with
That's a
and-
very interesting point.
yeah,
I
and
thought of that.
and so all kinds of data shows that women have a harder time fundraising than men do, because men will call you up and say, hey, I need you to give me $2,700,
Yeah.
and that's it. And then
Yeah.
but women have a really hard time making that ask, and so overcoming that and getting to the point where you can kind of realize that you're fundraising not for yourself but for this bigger thing, then
Right.
that was something that I had to overcome. But also, honestly, I've grown up in Southern California. I've worked in the nonprofit sector, which is really progressive, and I haven't experienced that much sexism directly.
Oh,
but
good.
once I entered politics, that all changed.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So you just kind of are blown away by how even women, honestly, towards other women have this sort of sexist mentality that we get asked more about our experience, and there's a greater assumption that you don't know things or that you're naive.
yeah, I never thought about that,
There's also just you really do run up against people saying like, I'm sorry, I want to support a woman, but I just don't think a woman can defeat Steve Knight.
Well, this may change,
Yeah.
right?
Yep,
This
exactly.
is about to change, right?
Well,
It's gonna change. Yeah.
Katie, one last question
Sure.
about women in running. Do you see an impact? Obviously, there will be an impact, and is there going to be a significant change with all these women running
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think the change is huge, and frankly, we have less than 20% of the seats in Congress are held by women.
Right.
For us to change the culture of politics, for us to change, address many of the issues that we know we have to address, I really believe that we have to get to parity, and that has to be one of our top priorities. So getting to the point where women are truly equally represented is the best way that we're going to be able to get equality. But also, I think, frankly, we have a different approach to solving problems, to working together.
Yes.
That's what,
Yes,
what
that's
I
a good
feel. Yeah.
point.
And I think that needs to we need to change the political landscape in that way.
Well, Katie, this has been great.
Thank you.
Short
Thank
and
you so much for
sweet.
having me.
And if you want to know more about Katie Hill, go to katiehillforcongress.com. If you want to keep traveling with us, there's my mom
Yeah.
there.
Come with
As
us,
we
yeah.
continue on our adventure across to some other states coming up soon, go to women2018.org.
And when you go on our website, press the menu button, and you will be able to listen and view all of the interviews that we've done so far.
And our travel highlights.
Yes.
We've got
And
a lot
some
of
little
fun
weird
travel stuff.
travel experiences that we've had.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so one last thing, you guys, and please support us by spreading the word as much as you can throughout the entire world.
Yeah.
And one last thing, remember,
Remember,
don't
don't
vent,
vent,
vote. See you next time.